video. So today I thought, you know what, it's time that I tell this story. So I'm doing a Christmassy story time, which is cool because this will be my first ever actual story time video. This is the story of my Christmas horror story. So, well, this starts, it was Christmas Day, obviously, in 2014. So I was 16? So basically, I don't know why, that had no significance to anything. Basically, what had happened is the morning of that Christmas, I felt really off, really sick. So we didn't end up going to our usual Christmas stuff because we usually go to like places. And that will be another video, don't worry. But basically, we didn't go to any of that because it was I was sick, basically. I was sick and we didn't go. So because we didn't go, we were home all day. And because we were home, we were there when at 5 o'clock at night, a car crashed through our back gate, like our backyard, and into our kitchen window. Now, I just want to point out, my mum had said for years that she was scared that someone was going to come barreling around that corner and into our house. But she was more scared about the lounge room window because we were on like a corner like this and they come in through here, through our back gate and into our thing instead of like here. My mum always thought that for some reason it was going to go into our front yard. She always said that. So to actually have that happen was really bizarre. But I was laying in my mother's bed at the time because I was sick and she had Foxtel, so I was laying there watching Disney Channel. And I just heard this like massive bang crash sound, you know, that just like I just heard this massive bang. And then I could hear my stepdad and all I could hear was, "Oh, fucking dog, or something like that. And I immediately thought, like, you know, your brain just doesn't even compute to car crashing into my house. So my thought was that the big bookcase that we have, hold on, I'll put a clip here of the bookcase. It's very messy, I'm very sorry. Here. So this is the bookcase. It's like massive, massive bookcase. And we used to have it in our lounge room. In our old house, this is why we moved houses, you see. So I thought the bookcase had somehow fallen over. I don't know why that was my first thought. Maybe because it's something really Disney that would happen and I was watching Disney Channel or something, but that was my immediate thought. So what I did is I walked and I thought, oh, fucking dog. Must be my dog. Hold up. My dog, she's a little messy. She needs to get a haircut. But I thought this one had somehow made someone trip over and then the cupboard fell. I don't know. I didn't really have a clear head at that point. But then after I sort of walked down the hallway and my house was like hallway and then the lounge room was here and we had like a wall there but it had like a weird window shape in it. I don't know why. I think it's just because the people who lived in that house before us just trashed it so bad. They were just like, yeah, let's just cut a hole here. So we had like a hole in the wall, basically. But it was like cool, I guess. But yeah, so I walked down my hallway and I looked in this little hole and I remember seeing the lounge room clean, which is wrong because the lounge room wasn't clean. The lounge room was messy as shit because it was Christmas. But I remember I vividly remember looking and seeing a clean ass lounge room. But I know that was 100% wrong because when I went in there afterwards, it was still trashed because there was like wrapping paper everywhere, new stuff just spread around the room. You know, as there is when there's 3 people getting presents, like 3 kids, because I was still technically a kid. 3 people getting like presents, plus like parent presents, plus family presents, plus, you know, the whole shebang. We had a lot of stuff. Luckily at that time it was only us at the house. It was me, my mum, my stepdad, and my 2 siblings were here. Now this day, I still look back at it and all I can think of is like, all of the what ifs, because there were so many close calls, so many little tiny things that could have literally killed people if they were different. So, shut up. So basically, I'll go back to my story. I looked, I saw a clean lounge room. I don't know how I saw that. And then I walked through the kitchen and into the backyard. Now, I don't know how I didn't notice that the kitchen was fucked up. Like, the cupboards were they were like pushed over. All the ones that were near the window, like the sink and all that, were like in the middle of the kitchen. Like, it was completely fucked. It was fucked. And we were like, I walked straight past it, walked straight through the kitchen, didn't even notice, like, because it was like our kitchen and then it was like our back door was here. And I could hear that everyone was outside. So I was like, what is going on? And I walked through the fucking kitchen to the backyard and I didn't even notice. Like, it didn't even like, oh, why is my kitchen all fucking crushed together? Like, I didn't even notice. So I walk outside and I see a fucking car in my house. Like, it was in our house. So I was like, and I could hear like a gas leak because he had like bumped into like a gas pipe or something, I don't know. So there was gas leaking. They had to turn all of that off really quickly when like emergency people came. But like, I remember vividly hearing this like tss, and I was like, oh, like that doesn't sound good. Take a step back in case the motherfucker explodes. And I was out there and Mum was there and I was like, what? Okay. And then the girls were sort of over in the corner. I was like, what is going on? Luckily, I say luckily, so like, this is crazily lucky. Our cousins lived across the road from us, and I was like, alright, I'm going to take the little ones over there so they do not have to see this crash scene anymore. Actually, I'm pretty sure Mum told me to take the little ones over there. But I took the little ones over to the house, gave them big hugs, they were sobbing, you know, as you would as a fucking 3 and 8-year-old. Like, what? What? Like, it was fucking confusing. So I was there, I was looking after them, and then I ended up standing out the front of my cousin's house because I could just see shit happening. I could see it all. We actually lost my dog for a bit. Actually, first I was like, get my phone to my mum, because I was like, I need my fucking phone. Because I want to tell people that shit's happened. My life is interesting for once. Sort of, you know, usual 16-year-old reaction. So my mum ran in and got my phone. And then we all sort of just stopped for a minute and we're like, Izzy. My dog's sitting right there, so she's like looking at me. But we're like, oh, Izzy, where's Izzy? Where is it? Where is Izzy? And she was gone. And we were like, oh no. If she's been hit by that car, she'd just be dead. So there was like some of us, like we were all like, Izzy, come here. Not right now, Bobby. We were like calling her and we were like, come here, where are you? Just hoping she was like not hit. And luckily she wasn't. She was hiding under my mother's bed, scared as shit. And I'm pretty sure she's had a nervous twitch ever since then. I mean, same. But, so that happened. And we were like, shit, we nearly lost our dog. Back to the what ifs. Let's just go through where everyone was when this shit happened. I was in the bedroom. I was the safest motherfucker because the kitchen was here, we had a hallway, and then I was in this bedroom here. All the way back here. We have bedroom, bedroom, bedroom. I was in this one. I was in this back corner. My mum was in the kitchen. My sisters were at the back playing on their new swing set. And my stepdad was out the back in his little sitting area that he has, because he's not allowed to smoke inside. So he had like a little sitting area, and he has a new one now. He like made a new sitting area. But he was sitting in his little area. So we'll go what if number 1. Mum was in the kitchen. She had her phone in her hand and she was walking to do the dishes at the sink right where the car fucking crashed in, and she stopped to text my cousin who lives across the road to see if she had an egg or something, if she had something like an egg or like oil or like a pan, I don't know what she was texting her for, but she was texting my cousin. And this is my mum's words. She said if she was one step closer, she would have been injured. She said if she was one step closer, she could have had broken legs. She was that close. She said she was like this, and she had to jump back, and she said she just jumped back enough that it just hit her legs. Like, it just hit her legs. And she had sore legs for, like, weeks after that. But, yeah. So, that's what if number 1. What if number 2... Sorry, the what if is, like, if she wasn't texting my cousin and was at the dishes. Like, what if number 2? My little sisters got a new swing set from Santa this year. Not this year, that year. We still have the swing set out the back. But we got a new swing set. This swing set was conveniently placed across the other side of the yard because Santa was clearly too lazy to take down the other swing set. Santa was clearly too lazy to take down the old swing set. Now, when this car came through... Santa was clearly too lazy to take down the old swing set and put the new one where that one was, because that was like the flattest area in our backyard, because our backyard went like this. And there was like one flat area, and that's where we had the swing set. But Santa was too lazy, so he put it over the other side of the yard. That is the best fucking decision that Santa could have ever fucking made. Because that car smashed through the swing set. Like, right through the swing set. It was crushed. It was fucked. So, 1, yay, we had a new swing set anyway. 2, shit. Like, if they, 1, didn't get that swing set, or Santa did, like, put it where the other one was, those girls could have been hit. Not to mention, right under the window where the car crashed, there was just one little shady area. And in the shady area was where the girls would sit and play, like they'd play with their dolls or they'd play with their stuff. And it was so lucky that they were on the swing set instead of down there. Because if they were down there, they might not be here today. It's absolutely crazy. So yes, after I took the girls to my cousin's house, we sat there for a bit. We waited. My stepdad's parents ended up coming and picking up the girls, the younger ones, and taking them to their house just to sort of keep them out of it as much as possible. We were there until like 9 o'clock at night. It had to have been like 9:30 because it was dark, and it doesn't get dark here until like 8 in summertime because like daylight savings and like summer, I don't know. It doesn't get dark until quite late here. So I'm pretty sure it was like 9:30 by the time we actually got to leave, because everything, like there was emergency people trying to like stabilize shit. Oh, and we figured out, I forgot to tell you this, we figured out the guy who crashed into our house was DUI, driving under the influence. Clearly, he like got out the car. Obviously, like he could have bumped his head, but he got out the car and he like stumbled. I remember seeing him stumble, and we were like, bitch, you just fucking drank drive into my kitchen. No, that's not okay. So you see, people don't drink and drive because you'll end up a fuckwit. But we found out that he had actually stolen that car. Or stolen. He wasn't charged for it because it was his dad's or his stepdad's or something, and he had had one too many drinks, and he just took the car. He just took the car. And the dad or stepdad, I can't remember, came and had to grab his surfboards out the back of the car. So that was weird. But yeah, also, forgot to tell you this, when the guy got out and like stumbled, he stumbled for a bit, And then it was like he woke up or something. He was just like, shit. Like, he figured out what he did. He tried to fucking run! What? What? You hit someone's house? You do not try to run. You fucking apologize. Because you just fucked someone's house up. Like, you don't run. Not to mention, we were on a hill and he ran uphill. If you're gonna run away from something, you run downhill. Clearly. But, anyway, he ran and people were like, literally the entire neighborhood came out of their house. It looked like something from Grand Theft Auto. Because this is something that I remember so vividly just because it looked like Grand Theft Auto. I remember there was like, he ran and then this car drove past and it was like a little red ute like Trevor's from Grand Theft Auto. And I was like, shit. Like, they chased after him in that little red ute and I was just like, hey Trevor, is that you? But, so I found that kind of funny. Just, I don't know. But, literally the entire neighborhood was chasing them. I think it was the guys in the car who eventually caught him. And then they, like, tied him up with some rope that they had. Just to be like, you stay there until the fucking cops come. So they, like, tied him up. My mum was there and she said, this is what she said. Because my mum is, like, she's like me. She wouldn't hurt a fly. We think we're tough. And to be honest, if we had just a bone in our body that was, like, mean. Like, if we were, like, mean people, we could fuck bitches up. But me and her, we don't have it in us to beat people up. We just feel too bad. We just can't do it. We can't do it. I mean, if we have to, if we're put in that position and we have to, we will. We will defend our honor. But, basically, my mom was there with this guy. And she said she was this close to kicking him in the head. She said she even, like, went through the trouble of lifting her leg and she was like, ugh, and then didn't do it. And she actually, like, as bad as this is, regrets not kicking him because he's a dick and he got off so fucking easy. But, yeah, he was just fucked. That is my Christmas horror story. If you have any of your own Christmas horror stories that you're willing to tell, of course you do not have to tell because they're your stories. You don't have to tell if you don't want to, and if it's still fresh and hurting, I understand that. For ages I didn't want to tell people about what happened to my house because it was upsetting, and it's still upsetting to this day because I lived in that house for 10 years, maybe even more. I'm going to say about 10 years I lived in that house. So yeah, it is sad, but it's something that we've grown to accept. And yeah, if you have a Christmas horror story that you would like to tell me that's similar or not, I don't know, leave it in the comments. Merry Christmas. I hope that happens to none of you guys ever, let alone on Christmas Day. Yeah, like and subscribe and all of that stuff. And I will see you tomorrow with another Christmas video. Bye! Even if you